I would like to invite your thinking for a little bit this evening. First of all, let me thank the Chamber for allowing me to come up here and beat my chest. They want to sing, being Rod Stewart, of course I'm supposed to sing. I offered to sing, "Do you think I'm sexy? Do you love my body?" But I already know the answer, so I'm spare you that. So you're in luck. However, I do thank the Chamber, and I thank U.S. Bank for your gracious hospitality. And this has just been super. And thank you all for coming on this wonderful occasion. I'll try hard to keep both of us awake so that we don't fall asleep on our feet. I would like to invite your thinking a little bit this evening to the subject of change. If there is one thing in the universe that does not change, it is change itself. There's no one that's surprised to hear that. Whether we're talking about the economy, whether we're talking about the political posture, and all the jazz that's going on in Iowa right now for choosing a new Republican candidate, etc., ad nauseum. Anyway, all of these things are indicative of change, are they not? And the change doesn't just end in Belen, Valencia County, Santa Fe, or in Washington, D.C. It extends globally. It's happening in Greece. It's almost gone belly up. It's happening marginally in Spain and in Italy. And there's scarcely a spot on this beautiful planet where change is not coming up and our nose being rubbed into it. So it's there, isn't it? Everybody knows that. And would you believe it's also existing in the universe? You know, the firmament shows the handiwork of God. And would you believe that every star you look at every night is moving away from you constantly? Not only moving away from you, but our entire universe is constantly expanding at an accelerated rate, which means it's going faster and faster all the time. So change is with us. You don't have to be Dick Tracy to figure that out, do you? But I'd like to ask you to think with me for a little bit about three factors of change. First of all, I would like to talk about reaction to change. Secondly, a little bit about our participation in change. And finally, creation of change, which is the most exciting aspect of all. First of all, let's talk a little bit about our reaction to change. I think the one thing that strikes us most commonly when we talk about change is fear. Fear, F-E-A-R. Now, if we assign to those letters that spell fear the following definition: false expectations appearing real, then I think we'll have a better handle on what fear is all about. I would like to invite every one of you to ask yourself a question on this beautiful new year. Who am I really? Now, I know your mothers and fathers. I know your sisters and brothers. I know your sons and daughters. I know your business people. I know all of that. But who are you really? At your core, who are you? Socrates said, "Know thyself." Shakespeare said, "This above all, to thine own self be true, and it will follow as does the night the day. Thou canst not then be false to any man." So what it's really all about is who we really are when we come to dispelling this bugaboo, this specter, this ghost called fear. Confidence in ourselves is where it's all about. Now, I lived in Norway for 2 years when I was on a NATO staff, and I lived in a little suburb called Jar, J-A-R, and Greater Oslo is served by a little electric train, kind of like the BART in San Francisco, that just pulls into the station and opens up and then jump aboard and go. Well, standing at the station in Jar was this very fashionably dressed Norwegian lady with a tight-fitting gown. She went to step aboard the train when it came to the station, but it was too constraining, and so she reached back and unzipped herself just a little bit to give herself a little more hip room. Still too tight, so she reached back and unzipped it just a little bit further to give herself a little more hip room. Still too tight. So she reached back and yanked it the third time, and as she did, the Norwegian behind her grabbed her by the backside and set her aboard the train. And she reeled around in righteous indignation and said, "I beg your pardon, we haven't even been introduced." And he said, "Well, lady, since you unzipped my fly 3 times, But she was committed to unzip that dress, and she was dedicated to the proposition that she could make it happen. All of us need to be committed to who we really are. Committed to self-confidence. Reliance upon yourself is where it really all begins and ends. Let me move on to talk a little bit about the notion of participation in change. Participation in change is dependent upon the degree to which we are really committed to make resolutions and stick with them. And in making them, make them bite-sized that are achievable. The reason most of us set ourselves up for failure is that we set unachievable goals, and when we don't satisfy them or fulfill them, we say, well, I'm a failure, just forget it. And so we throw all the New Year's resolutions in the trash can and start all over. So I invite you to try to set goals that are achievable, that are measurable. You know, we can learn a lot from Alcoholics Anonymous. Alcoholics Anonymous teaches all of their followers to approach the notion of staying sober one day at a time. And if you will tackle these goals that you make as you are participating in change one day at a time, setting achievable goals, I promise you the result will be so rewarding you will be excited about continuing it. You know, if a mile is a trial, an inch is a cinch as you wend your way towards success. Now, time is slipping away. It's warm in here, and you're all standing, so I'm not going to go as long as I might have gone. But let me go now directly to the notion of creation of change. This is the most exciting thing. You are in partnership with the creator of the universe when you create change. You get to be a partner architect with God Almighty if you will participate in change and become part of the solution instead of part of the problem. And this is all within your capacity. It's all a question of being creative and being open to new ideas, open to new friendships, open to new business relationships as you work your way through the chamber, open to every growth possibility that is occurring to you. You know, Albert Einstein was once asked, what is the most important question in the universe? And Albert Einstein said, well, the most important question in the universe is the world a place full of hope and optimism, or is the world a place full of doom and despair? Why, said the questioner, are you, the greatest astrophysicist in the world, talking like a philanthropist or a preacher? Because, Einstein said, either answer you choose, the world will affirm it for you. So, my dear friends, if you choose the high road of creativity, if you choose the high road of self-confidence, if you choose the high road of incremental goal setting, I promise you the world will affirm it for you. And if you choose the downside, the world will affirm that for you as well. So I wish you well and Happy New Year. God bless and keep you all.